para maraming makakita na friends nyo. So una, magre-recommend muna ako nitong libro na to entitled Jersey Number 11. So napakaganda ng story na to, lalo na sa mga volleyball players dyan na gustong makahanap ng love interest sa pag-volleyball nila. Pa-recommend po nung seducing Drake Palma na nasa gilid. So ayan, hi Miss Piggy! So ito na ang iyong hinihintay na seducing Drake Palma. So napakaganda ng book nito, lalong-lalo na sa mga teenager na tulad mo. So ayan, anong hinihintay nyo? Habol-habol! Check out na!
Seducing Drake Palma is a well-known Wattpad story written by Biatch and first published in 2013. It became one of the memorable Filipino teen romance novels online because of its perfect mix of kilig, drama, jealousy, and emotional growth. At the center of the story is Alice Zyril Perez, a simple but strong-willed girl who has been secretly in love with her best friend, Shin, for years. Alice is a kind of girl who chooses silence over confession. Even when it hurts, she accepts her situation and convinces herself that being Shin's best friend is enough. She stays by his side, supports him, and hides her true feelings even while watching him love someone else. Shin is in a relationship with Kei Choi, and Alice quietly endures the pain of seeing them together. She remains loyal and supportive, believing that her role in his life is to protect his happiness. However, everything changes when Drake Sebastian Palma transfers to their school. Drake immediately stands out, not just because of his looks, but because of his cold, intelligent, and intimidating personality. He carries himself with quiet confidence, rarely showing emotion. His arrival disrupts the balance in their lives, especially when Kei becomes drawn to him. Slowly, Shin and Kei's relationship begins to fall apart.
I love you and I want you back.
Don't you get it, Shin? We're over!
Eventually, Kei breaks up with Shin because of her growing interest in Drake. Shin is left heartbroken and humiliated. Alice witnesses his pain and feels helpless seeing him suffer.
Balita ko, kaya raw sila nag-break dahil dun sa transfer eh. Si Drake Palma. Drake Palma?
Drake Palma! Drake Palma! Drake Palma! Drake Palma! Drake Palma! Drake Palma!
Out of love and loyalty, she asks what she can do to help him. In a moment driven by wounded pride and jealousy, Shin suggests that she seduce Drake as a way to get back at Kei.
Gawin mong boyfriend si Drake Palma.
Huh? Ano?
Gawin mong boyfriend si Drake Palma.
Though shocked at first, Alice agrees. She believes that helping Shin will somehow prove her devotion.
Hi, Drake! I didn't see you there. Hi, Drake! Hi, Drake! Hi, Drake!
Hi, Drake.
What starts as a plan for revenge becomes the turning point of her life.
Drake Palma! Boyfriend na kita! Kita! Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Break na tayo! Sige, bye!
Alice begins getting closer to Drake. Their early interactions are filled with tension because Drake is not easily impressed. He is observant and sharp, often seeing through people's intentions. Despite this, Alice persists in her mission, reminding herself that she is doing it for Shin.
As time passes, she begins noticing things about Drake that others overlook. Beneath his cold exterior is someone thoughtful, disciplined, and quietly caring. She starts seeing a different side of him, one that makes her question her original plan. The more time they spend together, the more natural their connection becomes. Playful exchanges slowly turn into meaningful conversations. Drake gradually opens up, revealing that his distant personality is more of a shield than his true self. Meanwhile, Alice finds herself developing genuine feelings for him. What was once an act begins to feel real. At the same time, Shin starts noticing the growing closeness between Alice and Drake. Jealousy emerged, complicating their long-standing friendship. For Alice, this creates emotional conflict. She once dreamed of Shin seeing her differently, but now she begins to realize that she no longer wants to be someone's second choice or a tool for revenge. The story beautifully captures Alice's journey from unrequited love to self-realization. She learns that loving someone does not mean sacrificing her own worth. Drake, on the other hand, experiences growth as he allows himself to trust and care for someone deeply. As secrets are revealed and misunderstandings surface, tension rises. When the truth about Alice's original intention comes out, it creates emotional confrontation and heartbreak. However, through honesty and reflection, both characters confront their real feelings.
In the end, Seducing Drake Palma becomes more than just a story about seduction. It transforms into a story about growth, forgiveness, and choosing genuine love over pride and revenge. It explores themes of friends-to-lovers tension, jealousy, romantic comedy, emotional maturity, and the importance of being chosen wholeheartedly. Due to its popularity, the story was adapted into a 2025 series on Viva One, starring Robin Angeles and Angela Muji, introducing Alice and Drake's love story to a new generation of viewers.
For me, the story is good and emotional. The plot becomes more interesting when Alice starts developing real feelings for Drake. I would rate it 8 over 10. I would recommend it because it is nice mix for romance, drama, and character grow.
I think the story is interesting because of Drake's mysterious personality and Alice's determination. Their conversation and their growing connection are make the story better. I rate it 8 over 10 and I recommended it because it shows how people can change.
I like the story because it shows how Alice learned to value herself instead of chasing someone who did not love her. The romance between her and Drake felt genuine. I would rate it 9 out of 10. I recommended it because it both has a entertainment and meaningful lesson.
I think the story is entertaining and full of emotional moments. The conflict between Alice and Drake, also Shin, makes the plot more entertaining. However, some parts may feel a little dramatic, but I will still give it an 8 over 10. I will also recommend it to people because to show how people learn from their mistakes.
The main idea of the story is about unrequited love turning into a self-discovery when Alice agrees to seduce Drake but turns into a real love. I would rate it 10 out of 10 because it shows emotional growth, not just romance. So it is perfect for a teenager like me.
For me, the story is good, but also emotional because of Alice's unrequited love for Shin. I like how the story showed that revenge can turn into real feelings. I would rate it 7 out of 10. I would recommend it if someone likes romance and drama.
I enjoyed reading this story because it is melancholic and emotional scene. The relationship between Alice and Drake developing with the story exciting. I would rate it 9 over 10. I would recommend it because it is good to read and good message about love.
My opinion is that the story is enjoyable and easy to understand. The characters feels realistic, especially when they deals with jealous and misunderstanding. And with rate it 8 over 10, I would recommend it to readers who spend romance and stories.
In my opinion, the story is interesting because the character experience jealousy, friendship problem, and real emotion, like how Alice becomes stronger as the story progresses. I would rate 8 to 10, recommended it because many readers can relate to the feelings in the story.